For our honeymoon, we traveled for 2 weeks in New Zealand, home of Lord of the Rings, The Chronicles of Narnia, and the adorable kiwi bird. Unfortunately, kiwis are nocturnal, so we didn't actually see any. But come along with us anyway as we explore Hobbiton and various Lord of the Rings filming locations, as well as the beautiful countryside of the North Island and the vast, rugged landscapes of the South Island. On our first day, after a 13-hour plane ride, we landed at 6 in the morning, and the first thing we did was get our car and stop for supplies. Supplies being coffee for me. But in all seriousness, we also stopped by the local New World in Botany for a case of waters, sunscreen, and bug repellent. Very important. We also got a few pastries for the road. By noon, we made it to Coromandel to visit Cathedral Cove, which is famous for many reasons, but my reason to come here was Chronicles of Narnia. This is where the Pevensey children first saw the ruins of Cair Paravel in Prince Caspian. The hike was actually much more moderate than we were expecting. I say moderate because I'm a sissy when it comes to incline, but the trek really was quite uphill. It wasn't easy. There were also lots of cicadas in the brush that liked to fly out at you randomly, so that was unsettling. But other than that, the trail was beautiful and tropical, and there's a welcome breeze once you reach the highest point. If you're not a Chronicles of Narnia fan, the beach itself is still beautiful with turquoise blue waters. After relaxing for a little while, we were feeling a little tired to make the trek back. Luckily, they offer a water taxi for 40 New Zealand dollars per person. This was a really cool impromptu experience that we're glad we found. After stopping by the Hahe General Store for some ice cream, we drove to our first hotel in Matamata called Matamata Lodge. It was a really cute detached cabin with a beautiful view of the surrounding countryside, and inside was so cozy. We could even see cows from our window. We explored the town of Matamata, which was a little more run down than we were expecting, and the burgers we got there for dinner were unfortunately not that good. Unlike the homemade breakfast our hosts put in the fridge for us for the next morning, the breads were all homemade, as well as the jam and peanut butter and yogurt, and the honey was locally sourced from a nearby farm. Everything was delicious and tasted so fresh. After our lovely breakfast, we went to Hobbiton. Already driving up, you're greeted by sheep in the parking lot. They had a cafe where we got some drinks with a view. And we also visited the gift shop before our tour began. We did the dinner buffet tour, which is a 5-hour experience, and it was amazing. I'm gonna have to do a separate video to cover all the details of Hobbiton, but here are a few small clips. It was incredible and magical, and our tour guides were so nerdy. If you're even the slightest Lord of the Rings fan, I can't recommend coming here enough. I almost cried, to be honest. The grounds are beautiful and so cozy, and we even got to go inside an actual hobbit hole. And we got to enjoy a beautiful sunset before dinner started. The dinner was amazing. It was family style and so cozy and delicious. We then got an exclusive tour of Hobbiton at night. The whole experience was 10 out of 10 and was one of the best activities we did all trip. Oh, and we saw a cat. Day 3 on our way to Tauranga, we stopped by the famous Patrick's Pies. Pies are a big thing in New Zealand, and for good reason. They can be found at just about any cafe, and they are delicious. We probably had pies half the days we were there.
I like that.
Checked into our Tauranga hotel, which was really spacious and comfy. Not as cozy as our Matamata one, but the bed was a lot more comfortable. We explored around Tauranga a bit, and we definitely liked it more than the Matamata downtown area. This actually had a San Diego feel to it, just coastal city vibes. That night, we had our second tour of the trip, a glowworm kayaking experience. I've never kayaked before, so I was a little nervous on the water. Thank goodness Tom has, so he handled most of the steering. We had another gorgeous sunset while we waited for everyone to get situated, and once we started going, I obviously couldn't record too much. There was a point where our guide strung us all together and rowed us as a group, which was tremendously impressive. It was also pitch black at the time. We got to the canyon and it was so hard to capture, but you can see we're surrounded by little glowworms. It was a really cool experience. It was 11 p.m. by the time we were done, so basically the only thing open for dinner was McDonald's, which is a guilty pleasure of mine, so I was happy. They have a double fish fillet sandwich over there, and it was amazing. Day 4, we started out with more pies. We ended up having to eat in the car because it started raining. Luckily, it didn't last long and cleared up by the time we reached the Rotorua Redwoods. But as we were buying our tickets, we noticed that there was a glowworm experience as well, so we added that on. Kayaking was really cool, but I wanted to see them a little closer. This one was a man-made cave where most of the worms were on the ceiling. Our guide had a red light to give us a little bit of a better view of the worms themselves, which you still can't really see clearly in my video, but the strands draping down are all hanging off the worm. I definitely learned more than I ever thought I wanted to about a bug this trip. Back outside, we did the tree walk, which is a 700-meter walk through the redwoods. And we learned that the redwoods actually came from California. Very ironic that we came all the way here just to see our redwoods. Afterwards, we took a walk on ground level, and this forest was so beautiful. I wanted to get lost in it, but alas, onward we went to our next location. There's a small area to stop on the way to the lakeside city of Taupo, where they have a honey store and the rapids that were used in The Hobbit: Desolation of Smaug. So obviously we had to stop by. The honey store was so cute. They had a honey tasting station and a cafe where we got some ice cream and coffee. We made our way to the falls, which were a really stunning bright blue, but it was really crowded, so we didn't stay long. Checking into our hotel in Taupo. This one was more of a motel, not the nicest, but very spacious. We initially booked it because of the mineral spa, which we barely used, but it came with a full kitchen and a partial lakeside view. At this point of the trip, Taupo was our new favorite city. It was interesting how each city we stayed in became increasingly better. The lake was beautiful, saw some friends, We also saw the famous Love Taupo sign and the world's coolest McDonald's. We had a nice dinner with a view at Dixie Brown's before getting ice cream at Kona Cones and eating it by the lake. The following day, we did a restock of snacks at Pack and Save before heading to Brumby's for more pies. We had a long day of driving ahead. We stopped at Tongariro National Park for some short hikes. Tongariro is where Mount Doom is, but it was a really cloudy day, so you couldn't see much. There were also tons of longer hikes that we had to miss out on since we had all our bags in the car, but the few we did were beautiful and took less than 30 minutes each. Checking in to our Palmerston North hotel in the evening, and it was so windy, so we decided to stay in for the night, do some laundry, and order room service. The next day, we headed to Wellington, which would be our last stop on the North Island. Stopped for lunch at a cafe where we got pies, again. We also grabbed some drinks at Aroma Cafe before heading to our tour at Weta Workshop. Weta is known for a lot of things, but to keep on theme with my favorite, probably their most well-known project has been Lord of the Rings. Their gift shop was really cool. They had a bunch of replicas, figurines, and statues. And apparently they also worked on Chronicles of Narnia, which was cool to learn. You're not allowed to film for most of the tour, so I had my phone away. But towards the end, we were allowed, so I was able to capture playing with the orc head made of silicone that you could control, which was really cool. They also had a motion capture skull that Tom played with. During our tour, our guide told us a lot of special effects items could be created with foil as a base, so we had a little creative workshop at the end where they gave us foil to sculpt with.
That's really good.
So we made dinosaurs. After our tour, we headed to our hotel and checked in. This window was very interesting with an Art Deco style. It also came with a washer and dryer, which was nice. And we had a full kitchen in here as well. For dinner, we went to Dirty Little Secret, which is a rooftop lounge / bar that overlooks the city. It was really cool up here, but got crowded fast, especially because it was a Saturday night. But the food was delicious, and the drinks, at least mine, were really strong. For dessert, we found a Waffle House within walking distance to our hotel, so we ordered some to go. Unfortunately, they got a little soggy and rubbery by the time we made it back to the hotel.
Okay.
Day 7, we spent exploring Wellington. Our tour guide from Weta had told us that they had a market every Sunday, so we went to check it out. It was near the marina, so it was so windy. Wellington is known for being the windiest capital in the world and is not called Windy Welly for nothing. We ended up not staying long because of the wind and found lunch at Joe's Garage right next to our hotel. And by lunch, I mean breakfast. These are called pikelets, which are supposed to be small, 2 to 3 inches in diameter, but they were huge. They were so yummy though. After we ate, we went to Kaitoke Regional Park, about 15 minutes outside of the city, where you can visit Rivendell. The only structure there is this stone archway, but according to Google, this whole area feels distinctly elvish. And they're right. The hike was so peaceful we rarely ran into anybody else. There were lots of cicadas to keep us company though. We grabbed dinner to go from Panhead right next to our hotel because we were waking up early for the ferry to the South Island the next morning.